I think more has to deal with, do you love yourself enough to know when somebody's loving you?
Or doing you wrong?
Yeah, do you? I think like those are forms of abuse, but when I say self-esteem, why don't these people leave these situations they're in? Do they have enough self-esteem to love themselves enough to know that they are in these situations to leave?
My understanding.
Or do your self-esteem is so low where you just let a person run over you like that?
My understanding is they figure they'll be lost without this person because this person has done so much, but there is help out there.
But you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else?
And some people don't have love for themselves so they'll deal with anything just because they figure that's love.
Do you think people with low self-esteem seek out relationships with people and that makes them feel comfort? Because, boy, they feel like this person loves them.
Yeah,
they don't even realize they don't love themselves.
It's the fact that, because they get so taken away from, now I feel it. I want it. Although he abused me, he still wants me. Now, it's not being secluded and not want it,
Now let's get in a little bit of personal and us being men. Let's talk a little bit about males being abused by women.
Yeah, that really truly does happen.
So it's like we had an interesting conversation probably like last week or sometime. Me, you, and Jared was there, and we was talking about what do you really do when a woman's just taking off? Because some of these women swing like Mike Tyson, boy, they throw you with a hook, a jab, they get to hitting you, beating you up, and you can't hit the women. And I was like, in my personal opinion, I was like, you have to find a way to get out of there where you don't have to go hit that woman. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you might have to hold that woman down and then run at the boy. She's calmed down a little bit, but you don't let her go until she calmed down. Because I've seen a lot of guys get hurt by a lot of women out here who got a strong right hook and a strong left hook, and boy, they like boxers.
And then on that same topic, they have some, there are some men that try to walk away and they get to throwing, the women will throw stuff at his head and call him all kind of belittle names, and say that you're a punk and this and that, to try to get, to try to persuade the guy to come in. You're not a man, you can't come talk to me, you can't deal with this, you see you're a punk, you running away, you this right, and that, what I'm saying?
Right. So what do you, because we talked about this a lot. So what does this saying mean to you? This saying that says, well, if a woman puts herself in a man's place, she gonna get treated like a man.
Well,
do you believe in it, or do you not disagree with it? Or
I disagree with it, but on the same token, I know I'm kind of at odds with it too.
I hear what you say.
I was saying the reason I say I'm kind of at odds with it because, like you said, a woman will put a person, knock a dude out or whatever. But for on a man's point of view, if this woman is trying to really hit you, what is there sign? What is the limit of your self-defense? You're defending yourself as a man. Not trying to be harmed or just taken advantage of.
Right. I feel like it was like I have my own perspectives and beliefs, but at the same time, it is a thin line between that situation.
Yeah. So where is the line? What do you draw? I mean, what do you do? I mean.
Okay.
I'm asking you. What do you do?
You asking me?
Yeah.
You asking me what? Like I said earlier, only thing I can do is try to get out of there, escape.
If you can't get out,
I can't hit a woman. Now, if she's on me like that, like I said, I have to put her in a submission to a certain...
If she's throwing blows and you can't get her in a...
I can't get them in a submission. Trust me, if you throwing blows on me, I can grab both of your hands and hold your hands down and say, you better calm down. But what I know I have to do, I have to run. After I get done letting your hands go, because women will say, okay, I'm calm, I ain't going to hit you no more.
Then they well off for you as soon as you let them go.
So when I let them go, I know where my escape is. I know where I have to run to. And that's, boy, it's interesting that we talking about that, because we know it happens. So men are being abused just like women are being abused. But nobody talks about the man being abused. When the police pulls up and she's telling her story,
He
even
going
if
to
it
jail.
ain't true, right? He's still more than 9 chances out of 10. That guy is going to jail.
Yeah,
In a few cases, women have been locked up.
I done heard of officers tell a man that, so I don't care if you got bruises on your head or you don't care if she hit you with a skillet. If she got a one bruise on her head or her body, you going down. Wait a minute. This person hit her in self-defense or sometimes try to back her up off of her after he got hit with a skillet and he leaves. And he calls the cops, he's going to jail.
Still go to jail. And
What
these
you
situations
said?
happen all the time. So it's like, and us only being men sitting here talking, we're not trying to be biased in no form or fashion. We just said the reality of the situation is that happens so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's guys who I know didn't even put their hands on a woman that end up going to jail, and this woman that scratched this man, beat this man, gave him a black eye.
Beat him worse than a paper, beat him black and blue worse. He got more scars on him than she.
Right, I think what we, not to be biased, we just want to be clear that men can be abused by women, and women can definitely be abused by men. It's a lot more. It's a lot more actually support systems for women, and I encourage y'all to reach out. We actually gonna give y'all some numbers of some places you can reach out to and shelters if you're going through this situation. But also, there are very few hotlines where men. They're supposed to be able to reach out to the same hotlines that the women reach out to. But when you hear a man speaking on his story of being abused by a woman,
that ain't happening,
what
did you do to deserve it,
It's almost like even if you told your homies might break out laughing on you and be like, what? And see,
why you let that girl do that?
But you have to realize some of your homies are lost and they probably hit their women, which is a shame. So why they giving you that advice? That's what they would do, but they probably, you never know who. A lot of us don't know what's going on with people, and we don't walk inside the homes and live with these people. All we know is what we see from the outside.
Behind closed doors.
Right, exactly. So I was like, that's why I just wanted to speak on a little bit of that. I ain't gonna speak too much on it because I know how y'all women are, and I know women are very emotional. I was like, and they feel like a man can take a lot, which us as men, we can take a lot. But that don't mean we like to be hit on, or scratched on, or big.
Because we can take a lot, don't mean we want a lot. You know what I'm saying?
We like drama, that we want you to turn into boys, Sonya Blade, or
Incredible Hulk and trying to pick up TVs and couches and hit us with it.
And all we like is, hey, too loud, calm down. Don't do that.
Peace in the house.
Right, we want peace too. Believe it or not, we want peace. I encourage you.
What are you arguing about? What's the deal? Let's sit down and talk about it.
And it's like you don't want to put yourself in these same cycles, whether you a man or a woman, and keep putting yourself through these same abusive cycles. And you say, oh, he just hit me or she just hit me because, and she didn't mean to do that and she didn't apologize. None of us are going to know your relationship. And we only, all of us, anybody who's in a relationship, everybody else is from the outside looking in at that relationship. Mm-hmm. Only you know what's actually going on in your relationship. But we do see signs. If we have a friend and we do see signs of somebody we love, a friend or family member being abused, we're going to be concerned and worried about that person that they're in a relationship with.
Yeah.
Or even if it is a sign of being abused, even if it ain't no relationship as far as man and women, if we see a kid being abused,
yeah, most definitely.
If we see anybody, man, woman, boy, child, boy, it's the same thing. These forms of abuse exist to all different walks of life.
And I want to shed light on this as well. If you are a neighbor or someone that you know that's being abused, you're just as guilty as the person that's doing the abuse if you don't call out and try to seek help for that person, that individual.
And I do agree with you to a certain extent, but the majority of me definitely agrees with you. Cause like I was saying, we were sharing. I was like, so if you walking down the street, and you know you're not supposed to really get into people's relationships, so you don't know why that man or that woman is fighting. But if clearly that man is just abusing that woman right in front of you, if you just walk by and you don't say nothing, like, hey man, don't hit her like that. And even if the woman, because I had a woman go off on me one time and tell me, that's my man, you don't talk to my man like that. When I thought I was actually just stepping in, because it looked like the dude was about to kill her. But she loved that man so much where I was the enemy in that situation, you know? So it's like
that. Or either from what my understanding is best to call the police, you know.
If it's somebody, right, if it's somebody that I care about and love, I don't care if they be mad at me or not. You know what I'm saying? If they mad at me because I stopped their boyfriend from doing that, my cousin, even my sister, anybody, they could be mad at me. I'm not gonna let nobody sit there and do nothing like that to you in front of me and I'm sitting there watching.
Gotcha.
Now as far as strangers, I try to stop what I can. If I see it's going too far, it's the difference between a lover's quarrel and actually seeing a woman or something being abused and you just walk right by her and you don't say nothing. Like you said, that makes you boy almost as guilty. You see, that man, if you go home and you walk past that and you turn on the news and that woman is dead and you knew you could have stopped that, you're going to feel pretty crappy about not stepping in and trying to help that woman.
Or you feel that woman is in the hospital now, just, you know, you see her before and you're like, hey, right, I noticed that female. Right, but now she's in the hospital. That means she didn't suffer some deadly bruises, you know, or some big cuts.
Because that ain't, it's like
afflictions.
Me loving God and knowing God, that's not what God, boy, teaches us to do. God don't teach us to walk by the person, boy, that's just laying there about to die or boy on their deathbed or boy getting abused or getting beat up or getting robbed or getting attacked. It's like sometimes you have to risk your own life and God's work. If God tell you to step into that situation, even if you die, you gotta die knowing, boy, that's what God had you to be at that time, and boy, God got you, even in death.
And now if also you thinking, that ain't my brother, that ain't my sister. Now if you go reflect onto the Bible too, they say there's a passage in the Bible that say where God told me you are your brother's keepers. That means also not only your brother, you are your sister's keeper. We're to keep each other, you know, in love and keep them safe, and you know. Right,
because that's your neighbor.
Yeah.
And when I say neighbor, I don't mean you live across the hall from them or next door to them. We all neighbors. Mm-hmm. We all neighbors in God's world. So you just walk past your neighbor and let that happen to him and you didn't say nothing. You didn't even speak up. And then you go to church and then you act like, hey, I just seen pastors do it. I just seen pastors walk past people who they could have gave a word to, who could have stopped to help, and walk past situations of people doing violent stuff and don't even speak up. So I'm like, you got to realize, where do you stand at as a man and where do you stand at as loving your brothers and sisters in God? Are these not your brothers and sisters? Are these not your neighbors? When the Bible clearly says this, if you're going to walk over them.
Mm-hmm. And I can even take it on this aspect too. Okay, so that same way you doing that girl that way as far as beating on her, so, okay, what do you feel when somebody doing your sister like that, you know?
Right.
You know, I'm trying to get it home. Or your mom.
Your sister, your auntie.
How would you feel if somebody did somebody in your family that way?
You got a daughter. That could be your daughter.
Yeah. How would you feel if somebody did one of your siblings or your mother or your sister that way? You wouldn't like it at all. Right. You'd be mad at that gentleman. But you need to step back. You yourself need to step back and see how you're doing others.
Right.
That's a mother. That's a sister to somebody.
Right.
That's a daughter to somebody.
Right. So you have to, man, and then people who, a lot of y'all got too much judgment in your heart.
Yeah.
You know why people don't tell y'all they being raped, or people don't tell y'all they being molested?
Because y'all criticize.
Yeah, because y'all criticize. Well, why you let them do this to you? Why you didn't do this? Why you ain't do this? I would have never let that happen to me. A lot of you black folks say,
they didn't do that.
Right.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that.
And I'm using this as an example. I don't know how many black folks tell me, I couldn't be no slave. If I was raised back in those days, I would never do that. So you saying you stronger than the people who, your ancestors who endured slavery? You don't know what you would do. Oh, if somebody put a gun on me, I'm going to do this. And then y'all don't do nothing when somebody pull a gun on y'all. So quit acting like y'all know everything y'all going to do, or judging other people like, I don't know why you went for that. If he hit me, I would have did this. Or if they did this to me, I would have did that. Because y'all lying. Y'all don't know what y'all do till y'all get in those situations. And God bless that y'all haven't been in those situations. Y'all just talking from the outside looking in. It's those people who actually been in those situations. And now you like, why you didn't tell nobody you being raped? Why you didn't tell nobody you being abused? Why you didn't tell nobody you being molested? It's people like y'all who makes people not want to tell nobody nothing because y'all judge everything people say. Now, if you was confident, if you was confident and you was like, it's okay, I'm not going to judge you. It don't matter. I'm going to help you and I'm going to be there for you through this situation. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm going to give you some windows of outlook on this, of outlook to help you to get out of this situation,
Right. All right. So now we're going to share a few places where you can go to as far as women's and abuse shelters that you can reach out to these numbers. If you are in any situations, then you can actually seek help. The first one I want to give y'all is the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. So this is nationwide. Again, it's the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. Nationwide. So if you're in any state in the United States and you're going through this and you're watching our podcast, you can call this number and reach out. It's 1-800-799-7232. Again, this is the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. And the number is 1-800-799-7233. So I want y'all to reach out. If you're anywhere and you're watching our podcast from anywhere in the U.S., that's the number that you can reach out to. I want to also give you a number for locally, because we shoot our podcast in Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, all around the Midwest. So we shoot in this area. I want to give y'all a number. It's called the New House. They help a lot of people. If you're a woman or you're a man and you're in an abuse situation, you can reach out to this number. The number is 816-471-5800. And let me repeat that. It's called the New House. And it's 816-471-5800. D, go ahead.
Then I have two right here. This Hope House, which is area code 816-461-4673. And that's Hope House at area code 816-461-4673. Then I have New Refuge, which is area code 816. That's 353-8070. That's Hope House 353-8070.
I think that last one's actually Mother's Refuge.
Mother's Refuge. I'm sorry, that's Mother's Refuge. And the phone number again is area code 816-353-8070.
Right, and those are places you can seek out if you find yourself in one of these situations. It was like also to those who have kids. If you're a woman and you have kids, you don't want to be abused in front of your kids. This is a cycle that these kids are going to see, and they might implement that into their house because that's how they was raised and that's what they know. They daddy hit their mama or their mama hit their daddy, and they grew up watching these situations. And some of these boys, a lot of hurt people. A lot of these things stem from people's childhoods to what they seen, how they was raised, and how their parents interact with each other, how their brothers and sisters talk.
So they grew up with the mindset that this is right.
Right.
Not knowing this is wrong.
Right. And I also want y'all to know this is not just relationships. This is not just couples. This affects these forms of abuse affect everybody. Like I said, from kids to brothers and sisters, siblings.
Even some friendships are controlling to each other.
Right.
Now, if you don't do this, I'm gonna beat you up. If you don't do that, you a punk. You this. You a wimp. You don't do that, man. You a coward. You know?
Right. Those type of things. Exactly what he was saying. Exactly. All those type of things. I mean, we abuse each other in society. Period.
We need to
all the bullying, all the social media bullying, all that stuff is a form of abuse. I was like, we can't walk in hate like this, and we can't take just because we was raised in those type of environments. We could change. We could be different people.
And how is that you know how to, you say you know about love and you know how to love, but you walk in so much hate.
Right. So I hope, man,
food for thought.
I hope we reach somebody today. Before we leave, we just gonna talk about a few things because y'all know. Thank y'all for staying through the end with us.
Yes.
We appreciate that. If you made it to
this
the
is not
end.
the actual final end. I mean the end of our segment today.
Right, but if you did stay to us, man, we know we missed a lot of stuff.
Yes.
We're not gonna talk too much about it. Like I just speak on a little bit. Please, man, talk to the youngest. Because what Kodak Black said about Lori London don't make no sense. If somebody gave Kodak Black more guidance, that video, that probably wouldn't even get out there. And you don't speak ill of the dead. That Nipsey Hussle died, and so I was like, how I feel about that, if y'all want to know, that's how I feel about it. I don't support any of that nonsense that he's doing. I don't feel, you got to respect the dead. That you don't sit here and all you have to say is, hey, that man died and I want to take his girl. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, don't bash it, the dead, what I'm saying? Let him die in peace. Because also, not only bashing him, when you say stuff like that, the parents of that deceased loved one, they're still grieving.
Right.
And here you are just steady, flabbergasting stuff, letting stuff, bringing it back up. You know what I'm saying? They let him go get over it. You know what I'm saying? Even his ex-girlfriend or so, his ex-wife or so, she's grieving too. Leave her alone.
Right, that ain't his ex. That's the woman that he was with. So I was like, it don't make no sense. It was like, if you don't, like my mama always used to say, and my grandma used to say, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all.
True.
Just don't say nothing at all. Also, man, I want to give my condolences to John Singleton family. And man, it's a heavy loss as far as the community.
I give my condolences to.
Yeah, music. The movies. We would have never even got Black Stories like Boys in the Hood, or Poetic Justice, or all these great, or even Baby Boy. They didn't want to hear our stories in Hollywood. They didn't want to hear our Black stories, the actual stuff that goes on in our urban communities. John Singleton gave us a voice for us to actually see Boys in the Hood come to life, see Baby Boy come to life, see Poetic Justice come to life, and some of the. Go ahead.
And not only that, he also gave us a push or mindset, or for us to do even a broadcast like this. You know what I'm saying? As far as helping the community, saying we can succeed and do things, differently in the community.
I understand what you're saying. Me, boy, John Singleton was a little something different to me, bigger than the podcast, even bigger than the podcast that we're doing to me. That's your personal opinion.
I'm just saying he showed that we as blacks can do different things.
Right. That we can pick up this camera and shoot this podcast. Yeah. That's inspiration enough that we could be a part of Hollywood and tell our stories and not have to conform to what the stories that they have written for us.
Yeah.
So I really want to say rest in peace to John Singleton, man.
Rest in peace.
I really want to do that. I also want to. I'm glad everything. Bun B was in his home invasion. I have heard about that, and I actually just saw the Breakfast Club interview, and it sounds horrific, man. I'm sorry, man. I want to that his wife and then him even had to go through that like that, and if you in Texas, you could legally carry a gun. I could legally carry a gun too. Being that we in the Midwest, with places like New York and even some parts of California, I'm like, where these from? I'm like, even there's a few different states. I'm not gonna get into all that. Well, man, if it was the same situation, they would lock you down for trying to protect your wife and trying to protect your family inside of your home. So I just wanted to really shed light on that. And if there's anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, that's it. That about wraps it up.
Alright, I want to thank y'all for, tuning in. I encourage y'all to reach out to the numbers that we gave y'all if it's anything that y'all need. Because those are good numbers to reach out to if domestic violence. And I just want to say y'all have a blessed day.
Be blessed. Be blessed.
Alright, D out of here. His daughter just walked in, so he got to get out of here anyway. And